Social Security must never die. Hi, this is Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal. Today is Sunday, July 5th, 2026. The title of this rant is, What Does the Next 250 Years Hold for the U.S.? And today's topic will be Social Security and why it must never die. So I did a couple of things. Now, one of the things why I want to bring this up is because it's not being talked about enough. And of course, the Orange Mango is not going to talk about it at all. And right now, it looks as if that between 2032 and 2034, something like that, everyone says it's going to run out of money. No, it's not going to run out of money. It's basically going to still be paying out, but will not be bringing in enough money as compared to the amount of money that's going out. So what can we do about that, and how quickly can we do about it? And I'm just going to give you just one idea about it all. So right now we pay 6.2%. That's up to $184,000. So everyone pays 6.2%. Their employer pays 6.2%. So if you're self-employed, you pay 12.4%. 6.2% for $180,000 is what? $11,400, and that's a lot of money. But that's all we pay. Once you make over $184,000, you don't pay diddly squat. You pay nothing at all. And do you think that's fair? I don't think that's fair. Tell me if you don't think that's fair. Why don't we raise it to $500,000? Why don't we raise it to the level of of the Doge King, Elon Musk? Or who are the other ones? Jeff Bezos. Why can't we tax them for all the money that they are worth starting right away? Now, if let's just say we increase the tax amount. Okay, let's say we increased it to $500,000. We kept it at 6.2%. Anyone that's making up to $500,000, instead of paying $11,400, they'd be paying a little bit over $30,000. So there'd be about $16,000. No, a little bit less than that. They'd be paying about $20,000 more. And what's wrong with that? They can pay that. And of course, anyone that's making any more than that, there's 1,000 ways to do this. You keep the 6.2% to 184, make it 5% to 500,000, make it 184. Anyone that makes over 500,000, 6.2 to 184,000, 5% to 500,000, and then 5.5% from 500,000 to a million, etc., going all the way up. There are 1,000 ways to do this. And it can be done, but it has to take hard work. It has to meet together and to make some type of compromise, because I hate to say it, in this particular realm of politics that we're living in, there's really not going to be much room for compromise, because we know the Republicans are never going to compromise, because they're never going to say tax the rich. They're never going to do anything that's going to tax anybody out of anything. That's their mantra. That's how they live. Hopefully that's how they die. Now, in 1983, we were coming up with a similar crisis, maybe not quite as bad as the one, I think it was actually worse than the one we're coming up with right now. And Tip O'Neill was the Speaker of the House. He was a Democrat. Ronald Reagan was the president. He was a Republican. They put some committees together. They did a lot of stuff. They made compromises. And of course, I like to say, hey, in a compromise, nobody wins. Everybody gets something to say that they won, but nobody wins because they had to give up something to get to something that they got. And that's what a compromise is all about. But right now we have a pretty intransient Republican Party. Basically, no new taxes. We don't want to tax the rich at all. We want to give more money to the rich, and we want the poor to just suffer, and suffer. And we all know, I shouldn't say we all know, but many people know that many people who make under $100,000 a year, and even some people who make over that, hey, if you had to come up with $400, $500, $600, $1,000 emergency payment, you couldn't make it, because that's how tight money is for a lot of people in America. And a lot of people get injured. A lot of people get sick. A lot of people need Social Security. People that die. Who was it? Paul Ryan. He was Speaker of the House. When he was a teenager, he got Social Security because his dad passed away when he was young. So this is all doable. This is all that has to be done. Now, of course, all the Republicans are going to sit there and talk about all the Democrats who are now all socialists, and Social Security is socialism, okay? So they don't want to increase it at all. But again, who are they going to be hurting? They're going to be hurting lots and lots of elderly people in the red states. They're going to be hurting lots of people all over the country. And of course, they need to pay the consequences for all of this. Now, like I said, There are 1,000 ways to do this. It's going to have to involve some type of compromise. I think the Democrats and the DSA need to go in there and go for the maximum, just saying we need to radically change things. We can't live with the status quo. The people that we represent deserve better than this. They've been screwed out of $50 trillion for the last 50 years, and we need to move on with our lives. We need to make things better for them. We need to have an America that takes care of even the lowest the lowest earners here in America. And I want to end with this. It can be done. It must be done. It will be done. But it can only be done if we start electing more Democrats, and more Democrats who basically are saying, we will not compromise. Of course, we're all going to have to compromise, but we want radical change here in the United States. One of those areas is Social Security. This is something we must do. We must work for. And of course, we must bring it up day in and day out from now on. And remember, the only way that we can get this going and have more, let's just say, power on our side is to elect more Democrats, more liberal Democrats, and for enough people, enough of our friends who are conservative on the other side say, hey, look, I want my grandmother taken care of. I want this person taken care of. I want to be taken care of in a way. I'm paying into it. It's an earned benefit. It is not an entitlement. And the best way to do this is, again, always vote unendingly blue.